Good morning, everyone. So, today we are going to start the rest of the chapter which is left in 4th Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire in the 17th century and after. The administrative and the military efficiency of the Mughal Empire led to great economic and commercial prosperity. International travelers describe it as the fabled land of wealth. तो जो इंटरनेशनल ट्रैवलर्स थे वो क्या कहते थे कि भाई ये बहुत फर्टाइल ज़मीन है, यहाँ के जो लोग हैं, यहाँ के जो राजा हैं वो बहुत माइटियर हैं, उन लोगों के पास सोना चांदी से भरे हुए तिजोरियाँ हैं, उन लोगों के पास बहुत अच्छा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है, उनके रहने करने का जो तरीका है वो बहुत सुपीरियर है, इसीलिए भारत को सोने की चिड़िया भी कहा जाता था. But these same visitors were also appalled at the state of poverty that existed side by side with glaring. तो और इन लोगों को ये भी दिखता था कि बहुत सी जगहों पे बहुत सारी गरीबी भी होती थी उस समय के दौरान. डॉक्यूमेंट्स फ्रॉम द 20 year of Shahjahan's reign inform us that the highest ranking Mansabdaras were only 445 in number out of a total of 8,000. This small number, a mere 5.6% of the total number of Mansabdars, receive 61.5% of the total estimate revenue of the empire as salaries for themselves and their troopers. So होता क्या था कि ये जो 61% सैलरी का जो पार्ट था वो 5.6% लोगों को ही मिल जाता था. बाकी के लोग क्या करेंगे, लेकिन बाकी के लोगों को स्मॉल अमाउंट मिलता था जिससे वो अपनी दिन की जीविका को भी चला नहीं सकते थे. द मुगल एम्पायर एंड देयर Mansabdars spent a great deal of their income on salaries and goods. This expenditure benefited the artisans and peasantry who supply them with goods and produce, but the scale of revenue collection left very little for investment in the hands of the primary producers. The peasant and the artisans, the poorest amongst them, live from hand to mouth, and they could hardly consider investing in additional resources, tools, and supplies to increase productivity. The wealthier peasantry and artisanal groups, the merchants and bankers, profited in the economic world. अब ये यहाँ पे एक और चुनौती आती है. जो पुअर पर्सन थे उनके पास जो डे टू डे लाइफ के सामान से वो जुटा नहीं सकते थे. रिसोर्सेस और टूल सप्लाई जो थी वो इंक्रीज़ कर दी गई प्रोडक्टिविटी के लिए, लेकिन उनको वो जो पुअर थे उन पे ऊपर किसी का ध्यान नहीं था. द वेल्दियर पीजेंट्री एंड द आर्टिजनल ग्रुप्स, द मर्चेंट्स and bankers profited in the economic world. The enormous wealth and resources commanded by the Mughal elite made them an extremely powerful group of people in the late 17th century. अब बहुत सारी चीज़ें होने के बाद, बहुत सारा प्रोडक्शन होने के बाद, बहुत सारी आवक होने के बाद ये जो मुग़ल एम्पायर था ये बहुत ताकतवर बन चुका था. As the authority of the Mughal emperor slowly declined, his servants emerged as powerful centers of power in the regions. They constituted a new dynasties and held command of provinces like Hyderabad and Awadh. Although they continue to recognize the Mughal emperor in Delhi as their master, by the 18th century the provinces of the empire had consolidated their independent political identities. We will read more about it this chapter 10. So students, here you are. You have to understand the power of Mughal Empire. You have to understand how many Mughal were there in the time of 14th century to 16th century. You need to understand what type of taxes and how people were suffer, what type of jamindar were there, what type of people, those who are belong from rich family and have a lot of land, they are the owner and still uh, they people exploit those people who are poor. So these things is very much important in our Mughal empire.